Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Quick live stream and match reaction for Arsenal nil, Tottenham 1. We just finished a watch along, and if you didn't watch that game, it's probably a good thing that you didn't watch that game because that really felt like a friendly for most of it. The tempo was quite low, the energy was quite low, very different from what we saw against Newcastle. It was very different. This one definitely felt like a friendly, and obviously very blunt in attack, especially in that second half. Basically, the whole game really wasn't the best watched. Wasn't what we were expecting for sure. We were expecting, to see Gyökeres starting in this game, Mosquera starting in this game, Saka to Gyökeres' first goal in the first 15 minutes. All of that. No, we didn't see any of that. We actually only got like 10 minutes of Gyökeres. Didn't really even get the ball. We saw 10 minutes of Mosquera. And unfortunately, on top of that, Saka went off with a knock, and on top of that, Trossard came on and he went off injured as well. So overall, it wasn't the best of days. Wasn't really what we were expecting, what we were hoping for. Quite a sad day, actually, not the best of ways to end the Asian tour. I feel for the Hong Kong fans, the Singapore ones probably enjoyed watching Arsenal more because they got to see Dauman and they got to see some goals and stuff. But the Hong Kong ones never really got to see anything at all really today. So Tottenham won the game 1-0. It came from it should have been a foul. You can call it a mistake, however you look at it. So Lewis Kelly lost the ball in midfield. I think should have been a foul from what everyone else is saying. I think it should have been a foul as well. I've looked at it a few times, but at first I thought maybe it's looking a bit soft, but I think it's a foul. I think most referees do that. And literally 10 minutes before that on the watch along, I was talking about Raya being in an advanced position. I think I've mentioned it before as well. I said it's going to be very interesting to see how we're going to adapt those tactics. Now, obviously, Raya is going to play out from the back. That's no problem. But the position that Raya usually takes, usually basically becomes like a third center back. So whenever we lose the ball, you can very easily chip Raya because he's in the middle of the pitch. Last season it happened against I think it was Mateta, Crystal Palace. It also happened, and we ended up getting a red card against West Ham when Lewis Kelly lost the ball, and I think it was Kudus was through 1-on-1, and Raya was off his line, ended up being a red card. So that is a very risky way of playing. I have no problem with Raya playing out from the back, but whenever we are giving the opposition a very, very big chance of scoring against us a very easy goal. We've already seen a couple of players trying to chip Raya when he's off his line. Sometimes it doesn't come through, but sometimes when it does, we end up losing a game like this when Tottenham were never even supposed to score today. But they got the goal and they won the game 1-0. Now, to be fair to Spurs, apart from that, in the first half, Spurs should really have taken the lead anyway. They deserve to have the lead. Now, the best chances came directly from corner kicks, literally not even a corner header. They literally almost scored from 2 corners. So the first one was from Porro. He crossed the ball. It went and hit the post. Raya was being, tussling around with one of the Spurs players. And then the second one, it was Kudus taking a corner from the other side like 5 minutes later. The same, almost went in the far post. So they almost scored directly from 2 corners. And then they actually hit the post for a third time. In the space of like 15 minutes, they hit the post 3 times. So if you look at that spell where Tottenham had, Tottenham had, they definitely deserve to at least have the lead in the first half, and then eventually they ended up scoring that goal. I mean, the referee was bad, not just for Arsenal today, he was bad for both teams. There were some decisions I was like, really? That's not really a foul. He was giving us some free kicks that didn't really look like free kicks. He was giving them some free kicks that didn't look like free kicks, and then the ones that were supposed to be free kicks, he wasn't giving them. But anyway, so for that first half, this is the lineup that we went for today. Not what many fans are hoping for. Defensively, this is what I gone for as well. Raya, Lewis Kelly, Kvyat, Saliba, and Ben White. In midfield, we thought you were going to see Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard, the one that is probably going to start against Man United. But no, we went with Nogard, Nogard was very solid in midfield, by the way. And then we went to Rice and Odegaard, and then Saka, Havertz, and Martinelli up front. So as expected, on the bench, Setford, Zinchenko, Mosquera, Nicole, Salmon, Zubimendi, Merino, Lokonga, Dauman, Nwaneri, Trossard, Gyökeres, Nelson, and Kabio. So what you are hoping for is some people are hoping for Gyökeres to start. I knew he wasn't going to start. I was thinking maybe to come on in the 60th minute, maybe for 30 minutes, and then we see how it goes from that point on. So Odegaard was starting for the first time. The last 2 games, it has been Nwaneri starting. Saliba started all games. Ben White has started all games. Kivia, this is the second game that is first game. This is actually also the first game that Kivia is starting. I think he came on for Calafia in the last two. And then, Noga starting the second game. I think he was okay in midfield, Rice as well. So that's the lineup that we went for. So I expected more, even with that lineup. I expected to see more, let's see Odegaard getting more control of this game. Let's see Saka getting more involved in this game. Let's see Martinelli, more importantly, on that left side, getting involved more in this game. Now, in terms of players getting a certain number of minutes, usually in friendly matches, the first friendly match, players would get like 45 minutes, and then 8 of the players are subbed off, and then the others like in the second half, whichever time. And then the second game, maybe some players get 60 minutes, some players get 70 minutes, some players are subbed off at half time. But usually most teams, when they get to the third game, fourth game, closer to the season, they usually start giving players 60 minutes, 70 minutes. I had Amorim talking about this when Man United played the other day. He said, when they're getting closer to the season, managers would prefer to give players 70 minutes, and then they get subbed off so they can get used to the tempo before the season starts. So today I thought you were going to give the players 60 minutes, but you ended up giving them more than that, actually, around 70 minutes, more than that for some of them. So in the first half, it was a good start in terms of the pressing. That we were pressing them hard. Tottenham were trying to play out from the back. We were pressing them really hard. So it's a different Tottenham team. They have a different manager. They have a couple of different players like Kudus, and the tactics are different. They're not playing with the high line like they used to with Ant. So things are different over there at the moment. So they were playing out from the back. We were pressing them well, but after the 10th minutes, Tottenham also had like 2 or 3 spells in that first half where they were dominating possession. They were enjoying, runs in behind from Kudus and Odebe on the left side. They had control of the midfield and Bentancur, and they were very comfortable defensively as well. We weren't really creating anything at all. I think we had like 0 shots on target in that first half. I saw them writing 1, but from what I watched, I didn't really see any shot on target in that first half. The best chance really came to we had a lot of corners and free kicks, and we didn't use those as well. Rice disappointed me. The free kicks today, he took like 3 free kicks, and like all of them hit the first man, so that wasn't great. Some of the Saka corners as well weren't great. Apart from those those post. Basically, Tottenham hit the post 3 times the first half. Apart from that, there wasn't really any chances created from both teams. So just close to halftime, we made the error and Tottenham scored. Now, you can call it an error, you can call it a foul on Lewis Kelly, depending on how you look at it. I've seen most people are saying it's a foul on Lewis Kelly. Sarr got the ball, he looked at the goalkeeper. The way we play, whenever we lose the ball, it's very easy to chip Raya. I need us to change that because we're basically gifting goals to other teams. Because if, for example, if it was a foul or if Raya wasn't off his line at that point, Tottenham wouldn't have scored today as well. It would have been a 0-0 game, penalties, because we're also struggling to score. Now, at halftime, I didn't expect us to make subs because of how the game is going. That is not how they look at preseason. The managers, they're not going to bring on Gyökeres quicker because we are losing 1-0. No, if the plan was to play players 60 minutes, they're going to play the players 60 minutes, however badly they're playing, they're still going to play them 60 minutes for fitness and then bring on the subs. But we had to wait all the way to the beginning of the second half. There's a point where Miles, Tottenham were trying to counter attack, and Miles held off the defender, passed the ball to Kai. Kai created the chance for Martinelli, and Martinelli shot over the bar. But after that, Zubimendi came on, Trossard came on, Noggard went off, Martinelli went off. For me, at halftime, I wanted Gyökeres to come on for Havertz, Trossard to come on for Martinelli, and Zinchenko to come on for Lewis Kelly. Those are the subs I wanted at halftime, but it didn't happen. I guess the plan was to give players 70 minutes. Havertz had a shot that was saved as well, and that was basically it, really. Nothing else. I think one shot from Havertz the whole game, no one else really attempted anything. There was one that was close from Zubimendi. He came on, he shot it. We got a corner from that. But in terms of shots on target, we really didn't create any chance at all today, really. Like an out-and-out good chance, we didn't create any chance at all for the 90 minutes. So Gyökeres came on, Dauman came on, Merino came on, Zinchenko came on, Mosquera came on, Havertz, Saka, Rice, MLS, and Kivia went off. But at this point, it was already the 80th minute. But you could tell the fans were so excited. And Gyökeres and Dauman were mentioned. That the fans were very excited to see them. But I said in the watch-along, 10 minutes, you're not really going to get to see anything. Unfortunately, Tottenham have the lead. They're now going to take time taking their throw-ins. They're going to take time taking their goal kicks. We might not even see Mosquera getting the ball. We might not see Gyökeres getting the ball. We might not see Dauman getting the ball. And that turned out to be the case. There wasn't any chance for Gyökeres. He got the ball like once, maybe, in and around the box. I think it's the one that gave the pass to Zubimendi, and Zubimendi had that shot. Zubimendi had a couple of shots. Dauman got involved a little bit as well. Mosquera got involved a little bit. Something that was interesting about the defense is when Mosquera came on, it was Kivio who went off. So it was Saliba and Mosquera playing together, and Saliba was playing on the left side, and Mosquera was playing on the right side. So that was interesting to see. Now, Mosquera can play on the left side as well, and Saliba plays on the left side for France. So I guess any of that can work. Now, unfortunately, right now, we have so many defensive injuries. Now, today wasn't the day that we were expecting, unfortunately. We didn't really get to see Gyökeres, didn't really get to see Mosquera that much, apart from like 10 minutes at the end, and they didn't really get the ball that much. But on top of that, it was very disappointing before today, before the team news came out. As you can see, Kepa is missing. So Kepa is injured. So our backup goalkeeper is now injured. I don't know how seriously it is, but apparently Kepa got injured in training. Now, Saka went off with a knock as well. I expect him to play next game, but he was being fouled as usual every single time. He went off with a knock. And number 3, Trossard came on, and he went off injured 15 minutes later. So disappointing day, man. We lost 3 players today. Kepa, Saka, and Trossard. And defensively, it's not good at the moment because Gabriel is still injured. Timber is still injured. They've been training, but I wouldn't have risked them anyway. But they've been training, but we haven't seen them at all in the team as well. Calafiori is now injured as well. So, and Lewis Kelly also got treated a couple of times on the pitch as well. He was being, fouled all over the place. So after today, it wasn't the best of days. It wasn't the day that we were expecting. The Gyökeres debut and the Gyökeres goal and the Mosquera defensive masterclass and the Saka assist and all that and 3 goals. Nah, it was a disappointing day. Team news-wise, didn't really get to see the players we wanted to see. Chance-wise, we only had like 1 chance the entire game. Not even clear-cut chances, really. 1 shot from Havertz. That was it. Zubimendi came close as well. But in terms of overall, if you didn't watch the game, probably a good thing you didn't watch the game because, it was very dull. I'd say it was a dull game. It was a friendly match, pretty much. It was very friendly. It wasn't like the Newcastle game. There wasn't too many bad fouls or anything like that. There was a couple of yellow cards for Bentancur, for Merino at the end, I think it was Johnson at the end. But in terms of an exciting game, it wasn't an exciting game. I think Tottenham themselves had like 1 shot on target. I think both teams had 1 shot on target. Tottenham scored theirs. We Havertz shot his, it was saved. So 2 shots on target the whole game, and we had 2 shots on target from 20 shots. So that's why I'm like the next again. For the players that we have, they're not making it hard for the players who are on the bench. Trossard, watching that now, that was before Trossard got injured, but I was saying when Trossard is on the bench looking at Martinelli, and he's like, this is not going to be hard. I just need to play well next game, and I'm going to be starting against Man United. Same with Gyökeres as well. Nothing. Basically, that is it for the game. There's nothing else to talk about in the game. Nothing else happened, really. The most exciting thing was I was seeing Saliba playing on the left side and Mosquera on the right side. That was it because we didn't really get to see Gyökeres or Dauman or Mosquera for that long. So in terms of the game, it was a dull game. So let me just go directly to the player ratings and tell you guys what my player ratings are for this game. So Raya, he was off his line again today. That is how we considered the goal. It wasn't his fault. I thought it was supposed to be a foul anyway. And Lewis Kelly is the one who had the ball. Raya had given the pass a long time ago. Now, in terms of that, he was off his line. But overall performance, that is just how we play, basically. So you just have to make sure you don't lose the ball in midfield. I'd prefer Raya to be close to his goal so that we don't concede goals like that every single week. But most of the times, it usually works out, I guess. And Raya, in terms of his passing today, was very good. In terms of his long passes, actually the best chances that we had, I think the 2 chances that Havertz had today, or the 2 shots that Havertz had, both of them came from Raya long passes. And there's another time where Raya hit the ball to Havertz, and Havertz headed it, and then Tottenham I'm seeing Newcastle on TV and Arsenal, that's why. Tottenham made a mistake, and then it went to Rice, and then we basically got a corner from that. So in terms of long passes, Raya was okay, but he didn't really have anything else to do. He didn't have any saves to make. We considered 1 goal, and that was the only shot Tottenham had, basically. So from the passing and all that, I'm going to give him a 7. The goal that we considered isn't really his fault. I think it was supposed to be a foul anyway. 7 out of 10. Kivio, I do like Kivio. Kivior. I think Kivior is solid. So again, if you watch today's game, Kivior and Saliba are very solid in defense, didn't really get exposed or anything. It could easily have been a clean sheet. If you don't consider that goal, it's a clean sheet for Kivior and Saliba. Defensively, they've done their job. So let me open up SofaScore. I was going to give so let's do this. So I'm giving Kivior 7 out of 10. Really impressed by him as well. Maybe once he gave away the ball, but in the final third, not really defensively. So Kivior, at the moment, it looks like Kivior is the one who's going to start the season. I'm happy with him. In terms of stats, he had 5 tackles, 2 interceptions, he blocked 1 shot, 3 clearances. So those are very good numbers. Maybe even it should have been an 8, but I'm going to give him a 7. If we had kept a clean sheet, maybe it would have been an 8. Now, Saliba today, impressive once again. Saliba is definitely not Arsenal's problem. Still, that defense is still not Arsenal's problem. Despite the injuries, Saliba and Kivior are still very solid at the back. Saliba, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. He was very good once again. All the aerial balls, he was winning all the headers, all the challenges he was making, all the tackles he was making. For him, he looked very comfortable once again. And we also got to see him playing on the left side of Mosquera. So in terms of his numbers, he had 3 clearances, 2 blocked shots, 1 interception, 1 tackle. He won 100% of his aerial duels, 1 out of 2 ground duels, and then 7 out of 10 long passes, 92% pass accuracy. So Saliba today was solid, 8 out of 10. Lewis Skelly was the one that lost the ball, and then we ended up conceding from that. But I think it should have been a foul. I think it was a better performance from Lewis Skelly than the previous 2 games, but I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. I obviously still expect more from Lewis Skelly. We know he can definitely play better than that. So 6 out of 10. There's a couple of, events in that game, or a couple of spots in that game where he would win the ball back and then he'd hold off the defender. He helped us actually create that shot on target that we had. He came from Lewis Kelly's energy and physicality, holding off the Tottenham player and passing the ball to Kai, and then we created that Martinelli shot from that. So not the other shot on target, the Martinelli one that was over the bar that came from Lewis Kelly and Havertz. So 6 out of 10 for Miles. Ben White, apart from a couple of times where he's misplacing the passes in the first half, I think we're getting to see Ben White. This is definitely a very good Ben White. It looks like he's going to start the season. Performance-wise, he was great once again. I like the overlapping runs. He always gives Saka an option. He always gives Odegaard an option. Maybe a few times the cross should have been better. In terms of his numbers, 4 tackles, 1 blocked shot, 2 clearances, 5 out of 7 ground duels. He also had 80% pass accuracy, 2 out of 7 crosses, 5 out of 7 long passes. I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. I think his performance was okay, apart from a couple of misplaced passes. How many misplaced passes did they have? Let me just confirm that. 80% pass accuracy, so not that bad, but there's a couple where it was such an easy pass to make and literally just gave the ball to them. But 7 out of 10 for White. Now, Norgard started as well. I think Norgard was very good as well in that midfield. He was winning the ball back. You could tell he has that energy as well. He was telling the referee, come on, man, that's not a foul. He was getting involved a lot, so he's already adapted very quickly. So for Norgard at the moment, Norgard is still very good for us to start, no problem. I've liked his performances so far, so I'm going to give Norgard a 7 out of 10. In terms of his stats from SofaScore, they give him, he had 21 touches, 94% pass accuracy, 100% long passes, 3 out of 4 ground duels, 1 out of 3 aerial duels, 2 tackles. Overall, for me, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I think his performance was okay. Next to him was Declan Rice. Now, Declan Rice rarely gets below us. I usually give him 7 or 8 out of 10 every single game. Today, Rice's free kicks, especially, were they were not good at all. We were getting free kicks in very good positions. I think we had 12, 13 corners, I think. And in terms of free kicks, in and around the box, we had 5 or 6 of them. And most of them from Rice and Odegaard were not good at all. Rice was actually hitting the first man with those crosses. So it was a very pre-season free kick. We expect better from Rice in terms of the crosses. So for today, I'm going to give Rice a 6 out of 10. Let's see what SofaScore are giving him. They give him a 6.5. He had 76% pass accuracy, 2 out of 5 ground duels, 2 tackles, goals, 1 clearance. So yeah, just a 6 out of 10 for me for Rice. Martin Odegaard. This is always a very interesting one to rate. Odegaard, I think if I was giving halves, I would have given him a 6.5. I think Odegaard was better than Rice today. His set pieces were definitely slightly better, especially the ones he was taking at the end of the game. He played 90 minutes as well. Odegaard played 90 minutes. We still need to see more. We still need to see more there for sure. His combination with White was okay. The throw passes to White, and White ends up crossing the ball. But there's something that Odegaard usually does that sometimes it can work, most of the times it doesn't work, where he cuts in and tries to cross the ball to Zinchenko or Martinelli, whoever is running at the back far post. Sometimes it works, sometimes it ends up being a goal, but you still need to see more. But overall, he played 90 minutes. I think he was one of our better players. Still need to see more. He wasn't great, but he was one of our better players. So I think a 7 out of 10. What have SofaScore given him? SofaScore given him a 7.5 actually. So 90% pass accuracy. He created 3 chances today. He had 4 out of 7. So you see, the chances, Odegaard did not play that well today, but he still created 3 chances. Now, I think maybe one of them is from a corner. If they're counting those ones, I think they do. But, there's no one really to score the goal. So, maybe if Gyökeres is there and Odegaard doesn't play well, still has 2 assists, So we could have those kind of situations, but still need to see more. In terms of the attack, no one is really standing out at the moment. And the problem is, like today, they were like triple teaming Saka, and that is it. They have like 3 players marking Saka, and we can't do anything at all, because on the left side, we are very blunt, and in the middle, we are very blunt as well. So yeah, that left side is still very open for anyone to take. I'm telling you, even if we don't sign anyone right now and we can't sign someone after 2 weeks, when Madueke plays, if Madueke plays next week or starts on the left side or something, he actually has an opportunity to at least have that position for a couple of weeks. Because right now Trossard is injured anyway. He went off with an injury today. I don't know how serious it is. And Martinelli was not great at all today. So that left side is basically open now. Anyone can play there. Whoever plays well can play there at the moment. So Odegaard 7 out of 10. He created 3 chances, 4 out of 7 crosses, 4 out of 5 long passes. He committed 1 foul. So yeah, I'm going to give 7 out of 10. That is the midfield. So Rice 6, Nugget 7, Odegaard 7. Now, for the forward players, Saka was really being triple teamed, man. Double teamed, triple teamed. He could really not do anything at all, man. He was really trying his best. Even went off with a knock. He got fouled as usual, like four times or something in the game. The other thing that was annoying me as well, we were getting caught offside so many times in the first half. I didn't like that. Even Salibos got offside, like just randomly being caught offside. We need to watch out for that as well. So Saka today, he was involved in 14 ground duels. 7, he won half of them. He had 43 touches, 1 out of 3 successful dribble attempts. He was fouled 3 times, 1 offside, 3 tackles. They write he was fouled 3 times. It felt like he was fouled so many times. One of them made him get subbed off. He played 90 minutes. For Saka, it's usually so hard to rate him because he tried his best. He was being marked by like 3 players, didn't really get any chance to shoot the ball, didn't really get any chance to, make a good cross and all that. The corners and the free kicks, not the best as well. His corners as well are similar to Rice today. It wasn't the best of corners and free kicks today. I'm thinking 6.5, but he was, you know what? I think 7 is too high, but he was trying everything, man. He was trying to go past 2-3 players every single time. We are using his wings so much, even defensively. He has to come back and defend. We have to change something next season. I'm really praying that Madueke comes to Arsenal and plays well. I'm really praying, because we cannot be playing Saka once again 90 minutes every single day, and then we're asking him to defend, and then we're asking him to go past 3 players every single time. We cannot do that. Again, today he went off injured. In preseason, because he was being fouled every single time. He was doing everything every single time. So because of all the hard work, I'm going to give him an extra mark. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. On the other wing, Martinelli. I'm a person who says I want Martinelli to stay at Arsenal, not as a starter. I keep on telling you guys that. I want Martinelli to stay, but not as a starter. If the Premier League was starting tomorrow, he definitely does not start. He's not a starter right now. And, we're not going to sell him because no one is going to come and give us 60 and 70 million right now. So he's going to be here next season. He cannot start, though. Now, maybe if Eze comes to Arsenal, maybe Martinelli becomes better. Maybe if Gyökeres is on that left side, maybe Eze makes Martinelli better. Maybe if Gyökeres is there, those crosses for Martinelli all of a sudden they become very lethal. I don't know. Maybe if Calafiori is behind him and is overlapping him, maybe Martinelli is better. Maybe he prefers playing with Calafiori than Lewis Kelly. I don't know. But again, today, there's so many times where he has a chance to take on a player, he just passes the ball, or he tries to take on a player, goal kick, he tries to take on a player, loses the ball. He wasn't great at all once again from Martinelli. I'm just going to give him a 5 out of 10. He definitely doesn't start right now. If the Premier League is starting today, he definitely doesn't start. So at the moment, it's even looking like Madueke has a better chance of starting on the left side ahead of Martinelli, which should be very concerning for Martinelli. SofaScore giving him a 6 out of 10. Let me look at his stats. 0 out of 3 ground duels won. 0 aerial duels, 0% long passes. That's not a good performance. 88% accurate passes, 0% dribble success. Didn't make any clearances, no tackles, no interceptions. Man, those are some terrible numbers, Martinelli. Those are not good numbers. Did I write anything that he did that was great? And I usually write everything, and I've even written Kai. There's a point twice Kai did something good. I wrote a couple of times Noga did this and that, but yeah, very quiet from Martinelli. And anyway, the times he got the ball, I could see the frustration from people online saying, this left side, man, you just watch for 10 minutes, it's not working out. 5 out of 10 for Martinelli. He has to improve. He definitely has to improve. I'm still saying if 2 seasons ago, if Jesus or Martinelli, one of them played well, we probably win the title, and we finished 2 points ahead of Man City or something. And so that is now back-to-back seasons that Martinelli hasn't played that well. So this is a big campaign for him. If he has another poor season, then people really turn on him a lot. So today, 5 out of 10. Havertz slightly better than Martinelli, but once again, Gyökeres sitting on the bench and Trossard sitting on the bench, it's not giving them a headache at all. Gyökeres watching that, if let's say if Havertz was scoring goals every single week and he had 2 goals, then Gyökeres thinking, am I really going to start right now? Am I going to have to wait for a month or 2 before I start playing? Trossard will he be thinking, wow, Martinelli is really playing well. Am I really going to start? Should I be leaving because Martinelli is ahead of me? I don't think they can actually be doing that. Trossard can just sit comfortably right now and say, Martinelli is not playing well. I might just as well just stay at Arsenal. I'm going to play because Martinelli is right now ahead of him. And Gyökeres is watching that game. He just knows straight away he's going to be starting because that, again, it wasn't the best of performances from Havertz. A couple of times he went through. I mean, he didn't have out-and-out chances. There's no one who created a chance for Havertz to score and he missed. There wasn't any like that. We didn't really create any chances. So out-and-out chances, I mean, we get Havertz the ball, and he has to go past a couple of players, and then he ended up losing the ball. And then in the second half, Havertz wasn't even a striker. He was playing on the right wing. I saw him on the right wing so many times. That means there's no one in the box, but he did create a couple of chances. The best things that Havertz did in the game were the hold-up play. So Raya was hitting the ball long to Havertz a lot, and he was knocking them forward to Rice and to Martinelli very well. He was holding the ball up very well. So maybe you can have Havertz behind Gyökeres a couple of times. Maybe, the long ball from Raya, Havertz heads it to Gyökeres. Maybe it leads to a goal. But Havertz as the main striker, let's hope this is like the last times you're seeing this, because he doesn't even really play in that position. He's on the right wing, he's on the left wing, and there's no one in the box. It just doesn't work, man. You're definitely very blunt. That's why you're watching that game and you feel like we're very blunt, because Martinelli is not playing well, and Havertz isn't really threatening the defenders. So let's say that if Gyökeres is playing, the defenders know they have something to do. But if Havertz is playing, are the defenders really worried and all that? I don't think so. So overall, in terms of the play, Havertz was better than Martinelli. He was holding up the ball well. He was winning the head as well from Raya. He did create a very good chance for Martinelli with the back heel. I'm going to give a 6 out of 10 for today. Off the bench, we brought in Zubimendi in the 67th minute. I think Zubimendi did well when he came on. Had one fluffed shot. He was trying to shoot the ball, but he fluffed it. But he came close to scoring as well after coming on. I think it was a good performance from Zubimendi for, I mean, he was only on for 20 minutes. So if you add the additional time, let's say 26 minutes, I think he was okay. Zubimendi, a bit of more control in his own. And Nogard played well as well. So for the new signings, Nogard and Zubimendi, I've been happy with them the first 3 games. I don't think any of them has like performed poorly at any point. I haven't really gotten exposed. So Zubimendi, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 for the 20 minutes he was on, or 26 minutes he was on. Now Trossard, we can't really rate him. Trossard came on, 10 minutes went off. So yeah, probably just a 6 or something for Trossard. He was only on for 10 minutes, really. You didn't really even get to see him. Probably he was struggling with an injury. He went off. Hopefully it's not serious. So again, depending on how you look at it, I've seen people saying, oh no, Trossard is now injured, we can't sell him. Depending on how you look at it, and some people are like, yeah, now Trossard is injured, we have to start Martinelli. Depends on how you look at it. So Trossard, 6 out of 10 for those 10 minutes. Now, the rest of the players, it's very difficult to rate because some of them are on for 10 minutes. Now, let's try. Mosquera did win the ball back a couple of times. He was playing on the right side as well. I think he was okay. But yeah, we need to see more. Obviously, Mosquera was only on for 10 minutes. You cannot really rate a defender for 10 minutes that much and be like, okay, it's very good or it's very bad for 10 minutes. Not really. His long passes were okay. He lost a couple of aerial duels. I'm just going to give him a 6 out of 10. I think Zinchenko was okay when he came on. I actually think Zinchenko was okay for the 10 minutes. It was looking like if you're going to get a goal, it was going to come from Zinchenko's side. I think it was Odegaard who hit the pass to Zinchenko to the left side, and Zinchenko actually had a good idea. He flicked it and crossed the ball, but there's no one there. I think Gyökeres was going for the same ball. So 6 out of 10 for Zinchenko. Daumann was involved a couple of times, but again, 10 minutes is too little for anyone to have any kind of impact. So 6 out of 10. Merino as well. I mean, now for Merino, Gyökeres, and Nelson, we didn't really get to see them at all. So I don't think it's fair to give them any kind of rating. I think Gyökeres had like 1 touch of the ball or something those 10 minutes. Merino, maybe a couple of touches. It was interesting, though, to see Merino and Gyökeres in the box at the same time. So at that point, if you put in a good cross, maybe you create an opportunity. But yeah, we weren't really putting any crosses at that point. And Tottenham were holding the ball as well, taking time in the goal kicks and throw-ins because they'd already won the game, so they didn't have any rush. So yeah, I can't really rate those players, Merino, Gyökeres, and Nelson, because yeah, they didn't even really get the touch the ball at all. So Arteta for today, I mean, I guess the plan was to play the players for 70 minutes. So they're not going to say, okay, let's bring on Gyökeres early because we are losing. If he's not fully fit, I don't know. So let's hope Mosquera and Gyökeres are fully fit next game. I think Gyökeres has had like 2 full training sessions now. I had the commenters saying they've said that he's still like jet lagged over the first couple of days and he wasn't really ready to start the game. So fair enough. So we're going to probably see Gyökeres more at the Emirates and see Mosquera more at the Emirates. So matter for today, I mean, I guess just average, so just a 5 out of 10. Nothing really much to talk about there. Nogard was okay. Zubimendi was okay. I thought Ben White was okay. Saliba was very good once again. Saliba is usually no problem at all. Saliba is very, very good. Always. Saka was trying his best, but you know what can you do when you're being marked by 3-4 players? Odegaard was okay, but yeah, Rice today wasn't great. Miles wasn't great. Yeah, and then we obviously need to see more from Havertz and Martinelli. Now, at the moment, they're definitely not starting game week 1. Right now, if you're to have a starting lineup, you have Gyökeres, Trossard, and Saka starting up front. So those are the player ratings. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. RK says so disappointed. I mean, result-wise, I expected more, but yeah, it's a friendly match. I'm going to forget about it tomorrow, but it's not what we were expecting. We were expecting to see Gyökeres playing, Mosquera playing, scoring goals, Saka assisting, but instead we got 0, and we got a Kepa injury, and we got Saka getting subbed off with an injury, and we got a Trossard injury as well. So yeah, it was just a day to forget. Francis says Raya demoralized the team with that goal he conceded. Now, I don't think that is Raya's mistake. I want him not to be playing that far forward. That is how we play. That is instructions from the goalkeeping coach and whoever else. That is how we play. Raya's sometimes it works. Actually, most of the game it worked. If you watch Raya's long passes from that position, it helped us create a couple of chances from him passing the ball in that position to Havertz. Havertz flicks it on, and then we end up creating chances. But the problem is whenever we lose the ball at any point when Raya's off his line, we just basically give a free goal to the opposition. So it wasn't Raya losing the ball. I mean, the ball was way far away from him. And I think it was a foul anyway on Lewis Kelly, and then he got chipped. So, yeah, I wouldn't say Raya demoralized the team. That wasn't really Raya's mistake. But I also need him. I need us to change a bit of that. I don't want to try off his line that often, because whenever we lose the ball, it basically becomes do or die. If someone loses the ball, we've considered a goal. Even if we lose the ball in the halfway line, it's like a goal. It's a chance for the opposition, which is not great, because we already know it's tough to get past Salib and these guys. Let's not make it easy for the opposition to score. Like, okay, Raya's off his line, you can just chip. Nah. So I wouldn't say he demoralized the team. Muamba says, I thought Arsenal were playing against Paris Saint-Germain. We need to bring someone better than Odegaard, and Martinelli has to be sold. Tottenham are technically and physically better than us. Yeah, they did dominate a lot of parts of that game. Actually, the possession-wise as well in the first half, and energy-wise, and they hit the post 3 times, and they look like they're the ones who are going to score more than us. So I wouldn't say PSG, though, because Tottenham aren't great as well. Tottenham also had one shot on target today, the one that we gave them. They didn't have any other shot apart from that. So it was a very nil-nil game. If we didn't give them the goal, it was a very nil-nil game. No one was going to score in that game. Their best chances came directly from corner kicks. So yeah, but in terms of the wingers, Kudus and Odegaard, they were playing well. They're giving us a lot to do on the wing. Nelson played well today. Really? He was on for 5 minutes. I mean, he won us a couple of corners, I guess, but yeah, it's tough to rate a player for 5 minutes. He wasn't even going to come on today. If Trossard didn't get injured, Nelson wasn't going to be used because he's about to leave anyway. So with that one, Baki, with the friendly, they don't really bring players because they don't bring on players because you're trying to win the game. I don't think their aim is to try and win the game. For us, I want us to beat Tottenham. I don't want us to lose to Tottenham. And I've seen them posting the Europa League champions have beaten Arsenal. It's not good to read those kind of things, obviously. But the plan for them is fitness. They usually don't bring on players because they're losing. So maybe the plan was to play players for 70 minutes, however the game goes. So yeah. So. It's preseason, Ibrahim, so they've said Gyökeres is not ready to start. So that is it. We have to. I mean, I'm not really looking at that in preseason. I don't think that's the way you're supposed to look at it in preseason. Like, why is Miles Lewis Kelly starting instead of Zinchenko? Why is Zubimendi not starting? Now we have 5 preseason games. The plan is to give everyone equal minutes by the end of the preseason. So. But if the season has started and you're playing Man United, then we can talk about that, Ibrahim. Obviously, when the season starts, you have to start Gyökeres in the team because that is now competitive football. In terms of the friendly, I'm not too bothered who is playing. Obviously, I was excited about seeing Gyökeres and Mosquera today. But yeah, the plan is for fitness. The plan isn't really to get results, really. Even if it's a friendly game, it has to lose. Yeah, to Tottenham, obviously, it isn't great to lose to Tottenham. Again, I don't agree with that. Raya is always our problem. I don't think so. Raya was the best goalkeeper in the league last season. Raya is not Arsenal's biggest problem. If you look at that, if you watch Arsenal right now, you can't look at that game and say Raya is the biggest problem. I can think of 10 other things. We need to find a solution for the left side. We need to find a way. We need to stop playing Martinelli even if Martinelli is playing, we need to stop using him as a touchline winger, like on the wing and asking him to get past players. No, I can tell you if you're going to play Havertz, you need something else, something different. You cannot have him on the right wing and then ask him to go past 3 players. You cannot be using Saka all the time for 80 minutes. We Raya off his line sometimes. We cannot be using that particular tactic. So I can mention 10 things that are a problem at Arsenal, and it's not Raya. Raya is one of our best players. So being off his line, that is not his choice. That is an instruction from the coaching team. So the people we can ask that is Inaki, the goalkeeping coach, and Arteta, and the rest of the coaching team. Like, Is it an instruction for Raya to play there? Because if you lose the ball, you basically concede the goal in that position. But that is not Raya's fault. I think he should have saved the shot against Newcastle, but Raya is not Arsenal's biggest problem, to be honest. Ibanga, Kolapu says awful performance, but at least it's a friendly. Yoko should have come in the second half, like 45 minutes, and sub Havertz. I don't know why you're still keeping Martinelli, says Samuel. Well, we have to have a team that wants to buy him. That is the first thing. A team has to actually come and say, we want to buy Martinelli. So, you're not just going to say you're going to sell him. And Arsenal would want like 70 million plus for Martinelli. So who's going to come and pay that money right now? So I don't think Martinelli is going to be at Arsenal next season. I'm pretty sure, because anyway, there's no one who's going to come and pay that money for him, even if Arsenal wanted to sell him. So we do need them to improve. Whether we like it or not, Havertz and Martinelli are going to be here next season. So for me, I think it's yes, it's fine if you want them to be sold. It's absolutely fine, but I think it's pointless right now to start saying Martinelli and Havertz need to be sold. Let's sell them, because I know they're not going to be sold. So we need to try and find solutions of how they're going to play better, because we definitely cannot have another season where Martinelli, Trossard, and Havertz are all playing badly. If they're all playing badly, you're not going to win the league. Even if Gyökeres comes and scores goals and Odegaard plays well, if you have like all of those three players playing badly, you're not going to win the trophies that you want. You need at least a couple of them playing well. So that is what I'm trying to find. Can we find the solutions of Martinelli to try and play better? Havertz different position. Maybe if you play next to Gyökeres in a couple of games, maybe it becomes better. I don't know. Again, Frederick, that is probably instructions. That is not Mariah deciding to play off his line. Subai says his own problem if he wants his players to be trying to break defense line and not taking shots from outside and aware to opponents, then it will be easier for us to always lose. The gaffer says we don't win nothing with Kai Havertz. Definitely as a starter, yeah, no. Off the bench, I'm okay with that, but as a starter, thank goodness we've bought Gyökeres, because he's definitely going to start. Right now, no one is going to start ahead of Gyökeres. Let's see. I mean, hopefully in the league, it's not that that's not going to happen. Right now, for friendlies, they're not going to bring on players because you're losing games. The plan is just for fitness. So I rather not injure Gyökeres right now, by the way. But I'm sure in the Emirates games next week is going to start. Tom says Raya should not always move far away from his goalpost. Look at Andre Onana, he's a very good goalkeeper, but his movements out of the goalpost has made him look like a bad goalkeeper. Let's see. Caesar says Arsenal performance is not good today. We need to put on more effort. Yeah, today was not great at all. Even players that we expect a lot from, like players like Rice, wasn't that great today. Raya has to go check his goalpost after giving a pass. That is a very risky play though, because whenever it's past that ball, you're basically praying that Lewis Kelly or Saliba, whoever has the ball, doesn't lose it. Because if they lose it, you're in big trouble. We might either concede a goal or end up getting a red card. So that is something I definitely want to change as well. Sometimes, a couple of times, you can be off your line, but not throughout the game, because it just needs to fall to someone who knows how to finish the chance, and it's a goal. Tottenham did not create anything at all today. Without us giving them that, Tottenham would have had 0 shots on target. So it doesn't matter how good your defense is. If your goalkeeper is off the line, you're basically giving them a free chance to score. Where's Madueke? They're on holiday. Every player that was playing at the Club World Cup is on holiday now. So he's going to come back next week. He was playing with Chelsea at the Club World Cup, so he wasn't really on holiday. Every other player that has been in the Club World Cup is on holiday. So I think the holiday is ending now in August. So let's see when he's going to come back. I really hope he comes to Arsenal and plays well, because I think we're still overplaying Saka once again, and it's just preseason. And I mean, we've also been told that he might start a few games on the left side. Right now, I mean, you have an opportunity. If you come to Arsenal and you play well, you're actually going to start that game against Man United, because at the moment, basically that left position is free right now. There's no one who's playing there right now. Solomon says Raya has to check that one. Lekan says maybe you should start using Dauman and Noneri and Odegaard should come from the bench. Performance-wise, the first three games, Nwaneri was very good in the first game. Odegaard was better than Nwaneri in the second game. I don't think Odegaard was bad today at all. I think he was one of our better players. We didn't really create anything. He created 3 chances, even in a game that was poor. But obviously, in terms of the style of play and all that, you need to see more. Again, I still need to see Odegaard was on the pitch with Gyökeres for like 10 minutes. I still need to see like how Odegaard will do with Gyökeres there and Saka there together and all that. Kepa is watching. Anytime he'll take his number. Take Raya's number. I don't know where this has come from. Raya won us like 20 points last season from his saves. Raya is not Arsenal's biggest problem, and that one I 100% disagree with. Raya was in my top 3 Arsenal players last season. Again, if it's him being off his line, I do not like that as well. But that is not Raya. That is instruction from the coaching team. That is how he's asked to play. Come off your line and move with the ball. Basically, make it 4 defenders or 5 defenders. Basically, we don't have a 4-3-3. Basically, we have a 5-3-3 with no goalkeeper. So Raya is still one of Arsenal's best players. Raya is not. I don't see Kepa taking his position anytime soon. Listen, we want competition. If Kepa comes and plays well, fine, and no problem. But Raya is not Arsenal's biggest problem. Again, Aaron, I disagree with that. Raya definitely not Arsenal's biggest problem. Bianca says Zubimendi was doing an amazing job. He was okay when he came on for sure. Kato says, what is Martinelli and Havertz doing in the team? Demi says, what about Trossard? Trossard went off injured, unfortunately. Bianca says, Martinelli is a disaster. What the hell was he doing? I would rather play Nelson. Yeah, Nelson is also about to leave, so that left spot is definitely open. I really hope we can try and get Eze through the door very soon. Let's see. Arsenal need to sign a left winger right now. I definitely wanted us to get a left winger, but I don't think we're going to get a left winger. I think we're going to get Eze, and then we're going to use Eze, Madueke, and someone else in that position. So that's why I'm saying I really hope Madueke comes to Arsenal and plays well. That is very important because I know you're not going to sign a left winger. Kudus really played well. We need, as honestly, someone like a Kudus is going to give you a headache throughout the game because of the skill and the pace. Now that is what we don't have with someone like a Martinelli on the left side. Let's see, our left side is horrible. We need an upgrade for Martinelli. Raya needs to be more disciplined, says Hassan. Havertz and Martinelli is the reason why is going to go away from our team this season, says Kato. Sell, Trossard didn't keep Martinelli, but we have to buy Eze. Right now, I really hope we buy Eze. Yeah, right now, I don't know, man. Right now, probably even more people would say sell Martinelli ahead of Trossard because I still think Trossard has been better than Martinelli in the preseason games. Now, again, we have to hope at least they improve because Martinelli is not going to be sold and Havertz is not going to be sold. So they're still going to play next season. So I'm hoping that they can improve because especially if something goes wrong and someone picks up an injury or something, then that's a big trouble because at that point you really need Martinelli or Trossard or Havertz, whoever is there to play well. In the Premier League, the Premier League is different. Today's tempo really seemed like a friendly. Like even the way Rice was playing today, energy-wise was very low. You never know, though. They have a new manager and staff, new tactics. You have to be very careful because they could easily beat you like the way they beat you today. Again, defensively, Arsenal very good. You don't really lose the ball. Tottenham didn't really have any chances to score, or a lot of chances. Had a couple of corner kicks, and then they scored from the one that we gave them. But apart from that, defensively, are very good. I still can't see Arsenal conceding more than 2 goals in a game. There's no one who's going to come and beat Arsenal 3-0 or something. That is not going to happen because our defense is very good. You're not going to concede that many goals. But you can easily see Arsenal losing 1-0. If we don't score a goal up front and then we give a chance the other side, that is it. We lose the game 1-0. So hopefully that is not the case. Hopefully now with the Gyökeres up front, we're going to be scoring a few of those chances. We need a very good upgrade on Martinelli, says Hassan. Skelly needs to be more careful in trying to protect the ball. I think he was fouled, to be fair, and he was between like 3 players. I think it was a foul. The referee wasn't great as well. But so that is a match reaction. I'll be back with the live show for the transfers in the next 30 minutes. But Tottenham 1, Arsenal 0. that is how the game went. Not the best of performances. Let's hope for better next week back at the Emirates.